Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be covering bear hug from the front over the arms. This is a super common thing to happen, especially when you get somebody who rushes at you and they try to really control your whole body and you end up pinned in kind of this pencil position where you can't really do a lot. Super important thing here, the basic principle is to keep your center of gravity, that's approximately where your belly button is in your body, as far away from their center of gravity as possible. Now, this is one of the techniques that doesn't work as well when they're in full grip. So we're going to try to prevent that from happening. There is a trick to it if they get a full grip, but for right now, we're going to start by keeping that gap. So if Mr. Joshua were to come running at me and try to grab me, I want to immediately make what's called a frame. What I've just done is found his hip bones. If you're working by yourself and you're trying to figure out where to put your hands, think about putting your hands around your belt, okay, where your belly muscles are soft, and then lower down until you find the hard spots right there on the outside of your hips. That's what we're looking for. Not here on the outside, but right here on the front. Now, if I take my hands and put the base of my palms toward the outside of his hips, and then I tuck my elbows in, it's not possible for him to collapse this very easily. So if we're here and I get on his hips and I pull my elbows in tight, go ahead and squeeze as hard as you can, Mr. Joshua. He can pick me up, but he can't collapse that because I've made that frame between my hips and his hips. It does take a lot of strain, but it's very, very difficult for him to pull that in. Super important here, if my elbows are out to the side of me and I make my frame, the difference is that he can collapse my elbows behind me and I can't keep him from getting his belly button close to my belly button. All right, so when he starts to come, as soon as he starts to come toward me, I'm gonna immediately, boom, make that frame and I'm gonna try to take a step back. Again, the more distance that I can create between our center lines, the better. So as he comes in, boom, I'm making that frame and I'm stepping back. Now, I am not going to get his grip to completely release here. His arms are very long, he's taller than I am, but what I can do is extend myself back and away by pushing on the hips, and then I can now take the fight to him. Now, I've got what's called inside position or double underhooks, where I'm underneath his arms and can control his body. So I'm going to let my hand slip to whatever clothing I can grab, or I'm going to wrap around him here, and then I'm going to throw a great knee strike, pow, right up into his solar plexus or into the groin. Now, all of that happens pretty quickly when you're doing it in real time. So as he comes to grab me, it's boom, pop, okay? But if you don't have all those structural things in place, it doesn't really matter. Now, should the bad guy get full grip on you where you're pinned like this, there is something that you can do. It's all about the thumbs, okay? There are some nerves that run just inside those hip bones. This does not work on everybody and it doesn't work all the time, but it is an option that's available to you. If you were to get full grip, and now I can't get my frame in here, I'm kind of stuck. But if I take my thumbs and I find those hip bones and push just to the inside, it makes a very violent and unpleasant reaction from your training partner. It will not work as well on somebody who's angry, maybe they're trying to lift you, but it could give them that moment of pause, which gives you enough room to get your wedge in there and get that frame put in place, all right? Okay guys, that's your bear hug from the front over the arms. Practice at home making that frame where you get your elbows in tight, your back is curved, and you take that step back to create distance between you and the bad guy. All right, guys, keep training, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next video.